Aha, we have someone here. I was a bit worried today that there wouldn't be anyone here at all, but better than zero. So, hello. See if I guess some more people will show up fairly shortly. And I'm coming across from either D's stream or the Aquamate 24-hour stream. And we shall see what occurs. So, who we got? Come on. Don't be shy, say hello. Otherwise, I really am sitting here talking to myself. Ooh. And much as I can sit here and talk to myself for an hour or two at a time, it's nice to actually have a two-way conversation. Oh, here we go. Hey, Alice. How are you, sweetie? Oh, we've got 5. Oh, people are turning up. That's good. Right. So, I guess first things first, what's been going on in Sharpie's fish room? Good evening, Elizabeth. Kissy for you too. So what's been going on this week? Yeah, they're still going. They're lightweights. Oh, and Aquamate's gone to bed. It's. I've done 48 hours without stopping. So yeah, that was interesting. I'll talk about that a bit later if someone wants. So what's happened? The bristlenose plecos that laid eggs last week, that were born on literally last Sunday, they started to hatch. So they're a week old. They're swimming around in their breeder box, munching on the wood, munching on the plant, munching on algae wafers. They're just plecoing, basically, just swimming, eating and pooping and growing fairly rapidly, actually. I'm quite happy with how they're doing. And today, 30 of my Crebensis juveniles were sold. Yay! And 30 of my cherry shrimp as well. So it does appear I have now found someone who will buy my cherry shrimp quite happily. Hey, amateur aquatics. Let's speak English, shall we? Yeah, so that's a bonus. Got decent amount of money. Well, to me anyway, and with said money, I got myself 4 nerite snails for the new tank, which are now sat in what used to be one of the crib grow out tanks down here, because the new tank's not full of water yet. Another pot of bug bites, because one of the easiest things to feed, everything will eat it, fry up to honking great rainbow fish. Well, I say honking great for me. And then I've got the plants for the new tank as well, all the Tropica stuff. So we have a Crypt Beckettii Petchii. I'll try and get the glare off, something like that. Then we got a Sagittarius subulata, or dwarf sage as everyone knows it. A Cryptocorn Willisii, and a Hygrophila polysperma. So that should be enough plants for one 10-gallon tank. Yeah, people are going to start talking, Elizabeth. And as someone was saying, that shows how short my short-term memory is. We don't have Petco and PetSmart in the UK. We have Pets at Home. And as I'm a member of the VIP club, hey Drama D, hey Nala, Yes, Firefly t-shirt covered in all the quotes from the series. Christmas present from my lovely girlfriend. Yeah, they are from Pets at Home Amateur Aquatics. What do I keep saying? Aquatics. I've been listening to too many Aussies and Americans lately. That's what it is. Hayley, sweetie, how the devil are you? Hi, Anna. And being a member, a VIP member, you just give them some details and you get a card. You get the magazine full of useful information, not necessarily for a fish keeper. There are a few little bits. It's all, you know, it's all about looking after pets anyway. And then the back couple of pages is all a bunch of money off vouchers. Money off vouchers for such interesting things as biorbs, diamond-shaped aquariums, guinea pig hutch covers, a flip corner hooded cat loo. No wonder that's reduced. I can't see them selling well. Yeah, but you know, it doesn't cost anything to be a member, and you get the stuff. Also, you get to put in, when you sign up, you get to put in all your pets and their birthdays, and you get vouchers for them for their birthdays. So you get money off for whatever they are, which means I get lots of money off tokens for or vouchers for fishy stuff, and a couple for kitty stuff. Yeah, I know just how you feel, Hayley. I used to work, as I said before, I used to work in a chicken factory, and this time of the year, it was mandatory 12-hour shifts, 7 days of the week, and you just die. You're basically a corpse. Yeah, a good hot bath, good soak in a hot bath, or in Hayley's case, a mug. Use that little. Evening, Joseph. How are you, my friend? How's everything going? And so that covers what I've been up to fishy-wise this week. Nothing has really died or multiplied. So baby plecos are doing well. Somehow there's still a large cherry shrimp alive in this flex, is just there, which I have no idea how it's still there, because it's got African butterfly cichlids in there. So it's obviously a very clever shrimp, because I've not seen the shrimp. I've seen molts, but somewhere in there, hiding in the plants, I guess, is a shrimp. Oh, Ginger the longfin super red bristlenose is out as well. She's been hiding up a lot lately. But yes, so other than that, no deaths, no. Hey Griffin, Aquaballs, Big J. Yeah, so that's where we stand at the moment. There's going to be some moving around. So, hey James, Fish from Fever. What I'm looking at doing is possibly moving Mama Ram and the CPDs out of here. Oh, look at Mama Ram coming over to say hello. She's a good girl. They will probably go, well, Mama Ram certainly will go into there. The CPDs will go somewhere, because they can go in pretty much any tank. Hi Cheryl, hi Jess. If I miss anyone, holler again. Because I might turn that into another shrimp tank. Now that I know I can move shrimp on them, perhaps try, if I can get hold of some blue cherries would be nice in there. What is the Platy Farm the remaining platies will come out and they will go into here once they've cycled the new tank in. Hey, night girl. And then I'll try breeding the rams in what. Hey, Connor. In the say my first tank, the platy farm. So I'll try breeding the rams in there along with the bristle noses. Because I figure if the bristle noses are breeding in there, the platies are breeding in there. Chances are rams might breed in there. So yeah, we can give it a go and see what happens anyway. And then, yes, I'll say the new tank will be home to probably another bristle nose because they're just awesome. And a pair of apistogramma. I'm not sure what flavour yet. I'd like to try something like a McMaster Eye. Is what I can get hold of around here. So because places like Pets at Home do not stock apistogrammas. But they basically don't do cichlids, although they sell cribs. But you know, I actually had to tell the guy today. He goes, "Yeah, hey Sand Creek, yeah, I know Josh is going strong still." Well, I say Josh, I think he's asleep at the moment. But yeah, so they said, he said, no, we don't do cichlids. I said, well, you got rams, you got crebensis, you got electric blue acaras. Like, what? Yeah, they're all cichlids. Oh, and you got angelfish. Huh? Hey Zach, how you diddling? And yeah, still not sponsored. Go on, get on with it, monster. Oh no, Anna, that's sad. I could have got some rams today. That was kind of what I wanted to do, is get a pair of males because I've got two females. But the ones that were in the wholesaler were very young. I mean, less than an inch, and they were blue, so very difficult to try and sex them. And the ones I have had from Pets at Home, had is the operative word. They don't tend to last very long. The two females I've got have come from places other than Pets at Home, and they've been doing perfectly well. It just seems to be the males that keep dying on me. I have no idea why. Yeah, I'd say Cheryl, that's the bigger cichlids. No, I'd steer clear of. But I mean, I'd say I've got crebensis, rams, the anomalachromis, which is the African butterfly cichlids. None of them get much bigger than 2 or 3 inches. Oh no! You really shouldn't be burning candles, Alice. They get upset. Yeah, I mean, the butterfly cichlids are super pretty little fishies. They do kind of have that cichlid aggressiveness, but they're not too bad. Hey, Mrs. Griffin. So they're living quite happily with the shoal of Chopre Danios. Don't bother anyone. No. That is probably the reasons I have the fish I have. One, they're pretty. Right? That's the main one. They've got to be nice to look at. Number two, they're pretty easy to keep and fairly hardy. So, no, that's why things like Danios, guppies, platies, cribs, bristle noses, and they're all pretty much bomb-proof fish. Even I can't kill them. Well, I do, but yeah. Well, in the case of the crebensis, that was Pam. Pam the crib killed her husband. So yeah, pretty hardy. Not too difficult to breed. No fish that like to breed. Let's put it that way. Don't need super specific conditions. And they've got to be friendly with each other. There's no room in my fish room for fish that are going to attack other fish. Now, obviously, if you've got, say, cribs or pistos around breeding and they're protecting their fry, that's one thing. But things that just like attacking other fish and eating them, that's generally the difference, Cheryl, is cichlids tend to be more aggressive. Watching the male and female butterfly cichlid chase each other around the tank right now. Now, thanks, Night Girl. I do try and make them look nice. Yeah, there is. Also Danios. I think the main issue with breeding Danios, dependent on the species, is that the eggs are so small and they will eat their own eggs. So they, the one on that side is cherry shrimp, Night Girl, red cherry shrimp, Malaysian trumpet snails, and Nerite snails. Hey Dee. And the ones on this side is German blue ram, celestial pearl danios, and Nerite snails. Yeah, they're more. They're territorial when they breed. Yeah, the main thing I would have said with danios, I think a lot of people breed them either over some kind of grate so that the eggs can drop through, but adults can't get to them, or just with lots of plants, lots of full carpeting plants, so the eggs get down in. No, smaller than a 10-gallon. That one is a 6.5 gallon. That one is a 5 gallon. That one behind me is technically a 40 breeder. We're going litres over here, so they don't really add up quite right, but that's roughly what it is. And I say no. I don't aquascape. I just throw things in the tank and then fill it up with plants. That's pretty much it. I just stick stuff where I think, yeah, that doesn't look hideous. That'll do. And it's you could put Danios in a 3.5. Not too many. I do tend to overstock, but I'd probably, dependent on the species of Danio, if you went for the celestial pearls like there are in there, or otherwise known as Galaxy Rasbora, you could easily put half a dozen in there, maybe even 10, because they don't produce much waste. Other ones like the glow lights, 4 or 5, are the celestial pearls down there. The really little ones that you can just about see. Yeah, you could. Celestial pearl danio, yeah. CPD. Tiny little fishes. They look like miniature rainbow trout. But yeah, they're all all danios are quite happy in. I do New Year even less than I do Christmas, Alice. I go to bed early on New Year's Eve so I can get to sleep and be well asleep before the fireworks go off and the drunk people start coming home from the pub and singing. That's not a problem, Night Girls. What the Fish Fam does, we help each other out, and if we have information that someone else could find useful, we pass it on. That's the thing. I've got technically a 3.5 gallon, which I keep a better Nerite snails and a whole bunch of cherry shrimp in, but again, that is just purely because Norman is just such a soft better. He's a Siamese loving fish, not Siamese fighting fish. No, and the Christmas hat, as I said, has already gone in the bin. Although I was actually thinking, semi-related, maybe either New Year's Eve, same time as this is, wherever you are. Either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Would anyone have a preference as to which I did? So I'm thinking if it's kind of morning time, the Americans, if I go New Year's Day, they might be a bit hungover. Easter hat. Yeah, I could get bunny skin. You put bunny skin on my head. That might work. Don't do Easter either, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'll say I'm here. So if anyone had any preferences on days, so I mean, I don't know if anyone else. I assume other people will be streaming on either of those days, but try not to step over each other, because as we know, we are a relatively niche community, and if there's multiple people going at the same time, you just cost each other viewers or view time or whatever. Whereas if you go one after the other, you can get viewers from the previous stream, because again, Fish Fam community, if we know someone's going live next, we'll say near the end of our stream, don't forget, go over to such and such and go see their stream. I'm assuming Joseph is streaming later tonight if he's still in here. So yep, I'll say once I'm done, and however long it takes after that, go see Joseph. Hey, Danny Ken. Oh, thank you, Dee. Yes, so there we go. Was there anything else? Did I miss any questions? If I have, pop them back in. And I'll say, given the weather we're having around here at the moment, wearing a hat is probably a bit too much, but covers up how bad my hair is today. I desperately need a haircut, and I can't be bothered. And yeah, thank you very much, Rod. Thank my better half for that. Some very, very funny quotes on there. But that is the one model kit I really, really want. I want a good Firefly class transport in plastic, not in resin or 3D printed with no detail. Plastic, full interior with the crew, the mule, all that. That's what I want. That'd be my dream model kit, I think. Unless I do a one-to-one Christina Hendricks. That'd be fun. Good fun with the airbrush anyway. So anyway, there we are. That's where we stand. So hopefully next things to breed, I would like to be the rams and epistogrammas. That's kind of the plan. Videos coming up. I'm gonna try to kind of do a sort of not how to cycle a tank, but cycling a tank. Moving parts. Depends which parts you mean, Elizabeth. There are certain things that would be good to have going up and down, but yes. But as I said before, I like curvy girls, proper women, not twiglets. And redheads is always good. Oh yeah, but yeah. Yeah, don't don't visualize that on a live stream, Sharp. You'll get yourself in trouble. You start tipping over the laptop. Yeah, so there we go. What next? What else have I got? I haven't really got anything to talk about because other than the fishy stuff I've done today, I've not really done much all week. Well, so I was live Christmas Day, so yeah, that's what, there's 3 days. No, we don't live together, Alice. She lives with her 2 children, and I live on my own. And it works very well at the moment, and it has worked very well for nearly 3 years. So I'm thinking it's probably best to keep it that way if it works. No, I wouldn't rule it out. Now, it's one of those things, but I won't say no, it'll never happen. But you know, we'll see what happens. One of us might win the lottery and be able to afford to buy that massive country mansion. Yeah. We might not, and we might be stuck where we are. No, Rod, I haven't started on the T72 yet. Reasoning for that is I had to have a shift about in the man cave, which means currently I can't actually get to the bench to do anything. I've got to have a good tidy up in there. Yeah, exactly, Alice. Why ruin things on there? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's always a good mantra to work by. Oh, pardon me. Hopefully that didn't come through the camera. If anyone heard that, I do apologise. I've been on the ghost chili pork scratchings again, so things might get a bit windy. Oh, well, there we go. Blackie can burp, I can fart. At least it wasn't a loud one. Hey, we all do it. You know, anyone who says they don't ever fart is lying. Let's be honest. And I still say there is nothing funnier than a perfectly timed fart. Yeah, I mean, I hope you can't see any green clouds or anything, but I mean, you can't smell it and I can't smell it, so there we go, everyone happy. Just get the comedy noise and no stench. And so, because at the moment it would be the chili pork rinds and pickled eggs, so it probably don't smell too good. But thankfully, that is about all it's good for is holding my glasses up because it doesn't do anything else. Hey, Chevy Fish. Oh dear. Oh, oh, that's not good. Oh, yeah. I'd probably blow the stitches out. And I did see, no, I don't use RO water. I do just use tap water. Yeah, straight out the tap, hot and cold taps. So run them both into the bucket, stick my hand in, go, yeah, that's about the right temperature. Chuck in some Safe or Prime or whichever dechlorinator I'm using, and then into the tank. You know, because I understand why some people want to get the water to the exact temperature of the tank, and I understand why people use RO water for certain fish or shrimp. But as I've said before, around here, RO units produce a lot of wastewater, and water is expensive around here. Yeah. Excuse me. Not a huge rainfall area of the country, and we have to pay for it to come out the tap, and then we have to pay for it to go down the sink as well into the drains. So I don't really want to be doing that. It is an extremely hard water area because we have flint and chalk bedrock. But as I say, all the tanks are planted. They've all got wood in them. I don't do gravel vacking unless I have to. You find the pleco bomb behind a rock or something, because you leave the gravel as is, and the plants will use what is in there as food. It's free fertilizer. Let's be honest, free slow release fertilizer. As you can see, the plants are doing pretty well. Yeah, my nitrates come. So again, it's a arable farming area, so we get a lot of nitrates coming off the land, and they inevitably make their way into the water system. But there are different studies, but short term, I think it's around about, when I say short term, I mean like a couple of weeks. I think it was somewhere around 300 or 400 parts per million before nitrate starts getting dangerous. Mine regularly comes out the tap at 100, and within, I do what, 25 to 35, 25 to 33, quarter to a third water changes in the tanks every week, and I'm generally running between 20 and 40 nitrates, even if I'm sticking tap water in this at 100. The plants soon eat it. If you do struggle with high nitrate levels, floating plants are your best friend. Things like salvinia or duckweed, because they're fast growing. Their leaves are in atmospheric air, so they've got access to far more carbon dioxide, unless you use CO2 in the tank, and they just suck the nitrates out. Once a week, you just come along, scoop a handful out, and chuck it on the garden. Yeah, Texas can't rely on rainwater. No. Now I could possibly get away with rainwater winter time I could. Summertime, no, I'd have to use tap water. So I just use it. Yeah, salvinia is a great plant, especially with shrimp. They absolutely love it because you get the roots that come down, and the shrimp go up and feed off of whatever's living in the roots. Yeah, so I mean, I've only been keeping fish 16 months, and now I don't consider myself an expert in any of this. Everything I know basically comes from either reading books or watching people's YouTube videos, figuring stuff out myself. And I like to try and do things a simple way. I don't like to overcomplicate anything. But I mean, as you can see, my tanks don't look hideous. The plants are all surviving and doing okay. So I must be doing something right. And I am basically, the light on this one, which is a 200 litre or 40 breeder, is actually less powerful. It's 12.5 watt. And I think the ones that come in the 15-gallon flexes are 11.5 watt. So the fact that that's growing quite well really is testament. Scooping out baby shrimpies. Yeah, what I do there, Nyla, is how to put this? when I'm doing a water change on my shrimp tanks, because I generally only do like 10% every week or two, but you know, I have to de-duckweed the shrimp tanks every week, or desalve any of them just to clear enough surface area. Hey Melvin, and thank you very much, Rod. What I do is I scoop it out and pop it into a bucket of tank water that's come out of another tank, and then put the plug in the sink, pour the water and the duckweed and whatever happens to be living in there in the sink, and then go around with a head torch and a small net and catch all the baby shrimp out. There's, some weeks there might be one or two. I've had 20 or 30 shrimp in the sink. Yeah, so I mean, I know what I know. I like to take different approaches. You know, so I'll watch a modern, high-tech, technologically driven, complex way of doing things. Then I'll watch an old school way of doing things. Simple, old, easy, and I'll kind of work out for myself what works for that, why they work, and then kind of shimmy things into the middle. You know, which is why I say this is 40 breeder with one fluval. Is it the U4? Whichever the one that came with the tank is, and one box filter over in that corner where you can see the bubbles coming up. And I get no issues with water parameters. The water stays crystal clear. I haven't got huge amounts of algae in there. The fish are generally healthy and happy. You know, it's there is no right and wrong way. It's all shades of grey. Like both my hobbies, like this and the model building. No, there are obviously things that you just don't do. You know. But the rest of it, play about, figure out what works best for you. Now, I don't do fishless cycles because I don't see the point. But if you do a fish-in cycle carefully with plants in the tank, you can get a tank cycle in a week rather than waiting 2 or 3 months that a fishless cycle will take. And hey, I'd rather have a glass box with things swimming around in it than I would a glass box either injecting a bit of ammonia every day or watching a frozen prawn rot slowly in the bottom of the tank. But I completely understand why people came up with the fishless cycle. You know, because we've all seen there, been there and seen that, where someone's gone into a pet shop and they've bought their tank and they've set it up and they've left it a day or whatever, 3 days or whatever the pet shop said, and then they've gone in and they've bought a dozen guppies, an angelfish, all that kind of stuff, and then they wonder why everything dies. If they bought, say, 2 guppies, there wouldn't have been any problems whatsoever. And then another 2 guppies, and they'll gradually build it up, and the tank will catch up. Banana Man, John Stone, how you doing, friend? Help looking to glue the pipes in the King Tiger engine, the black rubber synthetic. I would use super glue on those, John. Yeah, basically just super glue, cyanoacrylate. Probably very similar to this, doing the fuel pipes on a Trump T72, T80, T90. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, yeah, plants will have the beneficial bacteria on them. The plants will feed on the ammonia that gets produced. Everything just, you look at a natural pond. Um, yeah, no worries, John. Glad to help. I mean, I've got to say, I'm a bit sad you're building a king target, but one of these days I'll release a 1/16 T90, and I'm damn sure you'll get one. I'll bear that in mind, Melvin. So that is one thing we can all do to help other YouTubers. Because getting the S word, because we're not allowed to say the abbreviation for submarine anymore. Getting that up to the requisite number is not too tricky. The problem is getting the view hours. So if you got if there's a channel that's close or getting there, not yet hit the monetization number, yeah, they're tanks, Nola. Yeah. King target is World War II German, and the T-72, 80, and 90 are Soviet Cold War and modern main battle tanks. Yes, that's my other thing. Yeah, definitely do a buddy build, providing I can afford to buy one. Yeah, I say, literally, if you can and you're going to bed, I understand why some people don't like doing it. Maybe you're on limited data or whatever, or you just don't like leaving stuff running. But just stick a playlist on from someone and just let it play either while you're asleep or in the bath or out shopping or whatever. Because it's that view time is the pig. That's the killer to get. Now, see you later, Anna. Have a good day yourself. Yeah, as I say, the submarines, they're relatively easy to get, especially once you're in fish farm. Oh, excuse me. And once you're in the fish farm and everyone's saying, hey, go see this person, go see that person, it soon adds up, and then you start getting closer and people are going, yeah. Yep, I'll be there, John. Wouldn't miss it for the world. That is the other live show I do on a Friday evening, 7:30 p.m. GMT, so an hour and a half later than I started here. It's the easy way to remember. On the International Scale Modeler channel, we do the Friday night live stream, and that is all model related. Well, there might be the occasional bit of fish, lots of banter and crudity and rudeness, and inner 12-year-olds escaping when someone says anything a bit amusing. Yep, not submarines, because you can't say the S word, but you can say submarine. Oh, desert theme tanks, cool. So desert theme, I would guess. Well, obviously a sand substrate with rocks. So cichlids, Melvin, Africans, Tanganyikan or Malawi or Victoria. That'd be cool. I like my planted tanks too much though to do that. Actually, I do think the one tank I do have sand in is Mary's tank, the tank Mary bought me, with Norman the Better and the shrimp. I'm noticing small bubbles coming up out of the sand now. So whether that's actually starting to anaerobically utilize the nitrate, I don't know. This has been running a year now, so it might be. Obviously, I can't smell it to see if it is sulfur dioxide or anything coming out, but if it is, it's no problem. 1 or 2 bubbles isn't going to do any damage to a tank. Yeah, so I find the sand. So I've got it in the one tank. I've got 2 with gravel or finer gravel like that, which is that, and my first tank, the Platyfarm Flex. The rest of them are plant substrates, and this one here that you can't see is crushed lava rock. And yeah, I prefer the plant substrates, to be honest. They seem to be holding up well. The plants do really well. That's it, as Father Fish says. As Nola says, Father Fish says, it's getting the depth of substrate. I know there's not a huge amount in that shrimp tank. There's only about 1 inch, but there's a good couple of inches in there. There's about, well, I think there's 16 pound of fluvial stratum in there. Yeah, it's 2 8-pound bags. Yeah, 16 pound of fluvial stratum, and fluvial stratum is light. And there's also 4 pound of sand and a bunch of rocks underneath it. Because when I originally set this tank up, there was a little sandy kind of rivery thing surrounded by cobbles down the middle, but Dave the Pleco didn't like that, so she buried it all. And as the poop and muck has built up in the substrate and the levels coming up, it's covered it all up. But that doesn't bother me. I'm fine with that. So sand is, you got to admit, cheap and easy. That is the problem. Yeah, the fluvial stratum can be expensive. When I got it, it was on sale, and I think it worked out to around about, I think it was somewhere around 60 quid for the 2 bags for this tank. The Tropica at the moment, the Tropica is pretty expensive as well. It would have taken to do, well, it would have, for the 10 gallon, if I'd have just used the Tropica, it would have been 30 quid for 2 bags. Yep, see you later, Rod. Have fun. Also, I like the stratum. It's more expensive per weight than other ones. So if you bought a 4 kilo bag, if you bought a 4 litre bag, you'd think you're getting less of the stratum. And by volume, it's lighter than other ones are. Yeah, if you get sand for now, use the sand, go for it. So I just find, especially the fine sand, it compacts, and the plant roots can struggle to spread out in it. But then if you go the other way, with the crushed lava rock in, I keep pointing at this tank, you can't see it. The plant roots spread rapidly, but they're really easy to pull out. Just don't grip very well to it. Lake Michigan, get some sand and rocks. Yeah. Lake Michigan. Yeah. So I was just trying to work out whereabouts that would be. I know the Great Lakes area is just remembering which lake is where and where they line up. Yeah. And the other one, if you buy sand specifically, if you pan through it with a gold pan, you will find flakes of flour gold in there as well. There will be tiny little bits of gold in it. You know, so they have made it illegal to remove sand or stones from the beaches in the UK. But that's mainly because of coastal erosion. Aragonite. So live bio reef sand. Well, on the upside with that, Cheryl, you're going to have a good ammonia source for a while, because the live in that will die fairly rapidly with fresh water. Shore shopping, good name for it. So I mean, up on the Norfolk coast, not too far from here, we've got massive problems with coastal erosion, with generally every year a couple of houses fall into the sea. The coastline is retreating at a vast rate of knots, and people who bought their ideal dream home many moons ago are now finding their houses are worthless because you can't get insurance and no one will give you a mortgage on them. Yeah, so I've got, unfortunately, there are plenty of sort of lakes around here, or small lakes, not like Lake Michigan. Yeah, perhaps, Cheryl. Yeah, if you're taking it out of the woods, you're okay. Okay, it's. But then, I mean, certainly around here, seeing what the North Sea looks like. So I was watching the 24-hour stream, and one of the Aussie guys was saying that for their salt tanks, when they're doing water changes, they drive to the beach and fill up the bucket with salt water. Because they've got lovely, clear, clean, crystal, beautiful blue seas. You go look in the North Sea and it's a kind of brown, green, murky, the kind of logs you might find floating about in it don't come from trees. Yes, that's it's kind of a bit of you, but it wouldn't do any harm. No, Jane. Just think of it as an animal died in there, and that's pretty much what happened. I pretty much guarantee most people here would drink spring water or mineral water, bottled water. Yeah, any of them. They've probably got a dead animal in them as well. If they come from a real live, proper freshwater spring or whatever, animals have been using it as a toilet. Yeah. Yeah, the Mersey's brown. I think you can virtually walk across the Mersey, can't you? Yeah, it's safe. It's just one of those things. Sometimes people have accidents or drown or get murdered and thrown in, but it's not going to affect the water quality. I say, especially if you're talking about Lake Michigan, the size of that and a dead body, that's not going to have any effect on the overall water quality compared to the amount of dead fish there are at the bottom that are rotting away gently. Not that I mean to take this in a gross direction, and it's obviously sad that somebody lost their life and all that stuff, but it's just decaying organic matter at the end of the day. So why do all the plants and the grass and the flowers grow really well in the cemetery? They get a lot of fertilizer. It's definitely dead bodies in the Mersey. Oh yeah, definitely dead bodies in the Mersey. You know, around here, there's probably some in the Norfolk Broads as well. I know probably there are. People go missing fairly regularly around that area. They think, oh, it's nice and safe. It's not overly tidal. It's not deep. Well, the water might only be 4 or 5 foot deep, but it's flooded swampland. So what's underneath the water is probably about 15 feet, 20 feet of just silt and soft mud, and you'll just sink into it. And you'll disappear and you'll never be seen again. That's why they have to dredge out all the big boat channels every year or two, because otherwise they'll be full of sediment. And heck, well, maybe not so much in America, I don't know, but we all know what happens if you were to chuck a grappling hook in a canal around here anywhere in the UK. First thing you'd find would be a shopping trolley or shopping cart. Second thing you'd find would be a bike. Then it would probably be a pram. Then if you went with a magnet after that, you'd probably be finding knives, guns, screwdrivers, all sorts of nasty randomness in the bottom. People use waterways as dumping grounds for things they don't want found. Always have done, always will do. So, I mean, I can't comment because I've never been to Lake Michigan. As what the sand will be like. I'm guessing sandy, but I'm trying to think. Where does Lake Michigan drain to? Is that draining to the sea or to another Great Lake? There's a question. So I'm assuming it's fed by rivers, probably from Canada. Then it's probably does it flow east or west? Yeah, pass. Yeah, so it's as Amateur Aquatics said, it's probably safer to get your sand out of the woods or somewhere like that. If you've got somewhere with a sand bed, and we have around here, just southeast of me is Snetterton, which used to be a World War II American air base, and Mississippi. Ah, yes, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So American air base, Snetterton, now racetrack, and that, believe it or not, is the same land as the bed of the River Rhine in Germany. When the UK split off however many millions of years ago, or when the water levels rose, actually, I think it's more likely. Before the water levels rose and it was all one land, continent, whatever, the River Rhine ran from where it runs now and came all the way through the UK out into the North Sea, out by the Wash, which is, yeah, that direction. So it is basically the bed of the River Rhine, and there is a massive sand deposit going all the way through. And everywhere else is chalk and flint, soil, topsoil, dirt, all that stuff. But there's the area through there where it runs is sand and gravels, river sands and river gravels. Yeah, I'll watch some of the magnet fishing and the metal detecting type stuff. I prefer generally the gold panning type stuff, because that makes me think about getting a gold pan and trying, but chances of there being gold in Norfolk is pretty much zero. The only gold you would find would be something someone dropped in there. Yeah, so, oh, yeah. Reminds me, I better take the Christmas cards down soon as well. I'll add that to my list of jobs to do. Plenty of gold in Derbyshire. Yeah, you see, you got hills and valleys and fast flowing streams, and Norfolk is basically ex-swampland, just so flat that there isn't anything like that here. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna. Oh yeah, there's gold to be found in England. I mean, we're not talking the Klondike gold rush. You're not going to be finding massive nuggets of gold, but pretty much most places that are hilly with rock outcroppings, if you can get down to bedrock, you'll find gold. Minute microscopic flakes, but no, it's. I know Scotland has it. I know, as I say, Derbyshire, the Lake District have it, and South Wales and Devon. But the rules and laws are obviously different in the UK to the US. In the US, I don't believe anyone actually owns the waterways, whereas in the UK, basically everything is owned. Yeah, usually found in cores. My smallest fish would be either the celestial pearl danios, Alice, or the ember tetras. I think it might be the ember tetras, actually. I think they're actually smaller than the danios. Yeah, found in quartz veins. So, yeah, so if you've got granite bedrock, chances are, well, if you've got granite, you've got quartz. So you're going to get a quartz vein, and then you're going to find gold. There's gold in them there hills. I mean, obviously, you're never going to get rich off of it. 3 centimetre. Yeah, something like that, Alice. They're just about an inch long. And the ember tetras are slightly shorter. Well, mine are. They might have some growing left to do yet. See if there's any not hiding. Yeah, even if they're not hiding, you probably wouldn't see them. There's one just behind me. That glass needs a clean. There's plenty of algae on the glass there. Yeah, I do like the ember tetras. They're very pretty little fishes as well. Unlike some of the tetras, they don't get too aggressive. Well, they're not aggressive at all. I'm to the point where the neon tetra, the single neon I have, that always hangs out by a filter, he actually tries to eat some of the ember tetras. Fails. Yep. See you later, Danny Ken. Thanks for turning up, and enjoy your day as well. I might call it a shorter stream tonight, as I know a lot of people are either in the 24-hour stream or, well, they're in the 24-hour stream, and I think Father Fish is streaming either now or very shortly. So I don't want to step on any toes if I can help it. Because last week I think he streamed at the same time as me, but he's moved himself back an hour so we don't overlap. No, it's a fish fam thing. Yes. It's over on Aquamate, Cheryl. If you look on the whether Josh Aquamate is actually, oh, Father Fish is on now. Let me just pop it in chat for you. Whether Josh is actually on at the moment, I don't know. He's struggling to do the 24 hours, let's put it this way. I think he's gone for a nap. And I think he had just shrimp granny, fisherman fever, and who was there last time I looked? Can't remember. But anyway, so I don't want to step on Father Fisher's toes, as he was nice enough to move himself back for this week. And the 24-hour stream, that should be getting fairly messy by now, I would have thought, and therefore funny. And I might actually finish up here and see if I can drop in with them guys for a bit. Sprue Glue, hello, just as I'm about to beggar off. Always the case, buddy, but you know, these things happen. Hello, Dave. Is Dave there? Yeah. Plus, I need to go drain the vein anyway. So, thanks everyone for turning up. I say, if you're a fishy person, either go check out Aquamate for his 24-hour. Jess at KG Tropicals, Caleb Fisherman. Oh, sweet. Yeah, make sure you're all nice and clean and presentable for me, Alice. Other than that, Father Fish is on as well, so it's not like short of people to watch. So, thanks for watching. Enjoy your fish keeping, your modelling, your life in general. Peace out. Rock on. Bye-bye.